to me is all about the Victoria Pearls. They continue to perform very well. I am actually talking about the female cricket team of Uganda. You know, World Cup is actually the biggest tournament we have in the whole world when we talk about sports. The actual for the World Cup qualifiers, and as we talk right now, they have already sealed the business to the semi-finals, which will take place tomorrow up against their neighbors Tanzania. A win for them will see them joining the male cricket team of Uganda. We are watching the space closely, and in case the business is also done, we'll also be giving it to you.
Okay, very big one, of course, coming in right there. But of course, we are looking into one of the biggest thing, that is the regional league that is coming in right shortly. And from tomorrow, you'll be seeing games on card, as of course we shall be wanting to discuss. But allow me to add Shaina, the only female, of course, journalist, sports journalist in the region, who of course keeps pushing it higher to the levels right there. And now this is Linda Susie, who of course gives us all what exactly you think it will be. Tomorrow is match day 7 of the regional league, or the West Nile Regional League, which is ongoing, and of course a game that is in a partnership with also West Nile Television. Susie, welcome, and how ready are you for the weekend?
Thank you for the welcome, and good afternoon, my two pundits in the house. Good afternoon, viewer. We're always here, full house, to give you whatever it is that we give best. Oh, and there is a baseball tournament that is going down tomorrow. I don't know if any of you understands baseball, if any of you has ever played baseball or so. But tomorrow there is a baseball tournament at Umbachi, 9 a.m., which has been organized by Nile Hammers. That is the West Nile baseball team and softball team that Arua has.
All right, great. As also that side, the volleyball team of that is Arua City volleyball team is also preparing in high to see that they get themselves into other angles here and there, pushing the world of sports. So discipline, sports discipline has very many different sectors that probably would be pushing in right there. But all in all, I want to say that is where I want us to start from. Now, regional league takes shape with match day 7, 16th is going to be the day where we shall be seeing, of course, Paida United playing Nyahama, and then you have Pakwachii Super Eagles playing Arua City, as Paida your Black Angels welcomes Pakwachii Youngsters, and Koboko Rising will be welcoming Yumbe Heroes. Barakala takes on Odramachako. Remember, some games have been pushed to Sunday, but of course on the fixtures they have not been changed right there. Like the Tipsa Araka game has been pushed to Sunday. Those are some of the games that have changes in there. Benson, what do you expect from the first game of that is the game by the Black Angels, by the United?
Yeah, Paida United, the recent game actually they played was a draw, and this will be the time for them to wake up or to see that they actually grab all the maximum number of points against the team that is actually sitting last as far as the table stand in Nyagaki zone is concerned. And you look at Nyahama, recently they also recollected themselves against Alpha Rising Stars, winning the game. Actually, it was their first win of the season, and that the first win they had picked, I think, is going to energize them against this encounter, the team called Paida United. But you look at Paida United, the last few seasons, they have actually been a team pushing hard to see that they finish on top in Nyagaki zone, but things have always been failing at the door. Since they are the home side, recently playing a draw, I think still Nyahama the other time picking a win against Alpha, I don't see them picking anything against Paida United because they are traveling away, and second they had a draw, and they are one of the biggest teams right now. They will want to bounce back to the winning ways. That's Paida United for you.
Now, of course, a very big one. Paida Black Angels, Super Eagles, Young Stars is one of the biggest things that you can talk about, because the two sides have something in similar, some exchange of players here and there. And that is one thing. Susie, what are you expecting from this game? The Black Angels are flying. They're still unbeaten.
The Black Angels up against the Pakwachii Youngsters by the Travels too. There is a Pakwachii, and I think this is going to be a very tough game, a very tense. But then one thing that I have loved within a regional league is that everyone is moving away from hooliganism. we're watching now the hooliganism in the biggest tiers. Initially, hooliganism used to be in the lower levels, division games, but this time around, I was expecting, I wasn't expecting the atmosphere that we recently saw on Sunday where Nebi Central hosted there is by the Black Angels, but yeah, it ended like that and it was very peaceful, thanks to the management, fans and the organizers, players inclusive. This time around, by the Black Angels tussling it out with there is a Pakwach. It's going to be very tense, but I cannot now weigh any team within a regional league in Nyagaki zone to there is the heights and levels of the Black Angels. One, and they have the experience. Where they are is not where they used to be. At one time, they even crossed to there is a Star Times Uganda Premier League, the biggest style of football in Uganda. So I think now plus the experience and the players that they've added into their squad this time around, by the Black Angels still is going in for their unbeaten run, unless otherwise I don't even see a Pakwachi, a youngsters picking in a win against by the Black Angels.
A tough game, it will be a tough contest, but not because of anything. Yes, by the Black Angels is a good team, and we are seeing how exactly teams really want to prove in there. If you look at the table standings, you see that Pakwachi is one of the teams that is doing well in that region, and of course I expect change of game.
It's true. This is, to me, the biggest game we have in match day 6 of Western Nile Regional League in the both zones, because you take a look at the weight of the other fixtures both in Nile zone and the other games to be played in Nyagaki zone, and briefly you take a look at the table standing. It's actually like the top of the table class. The first team on top of the log taking on the team that is sitting second, following by the Black Angels closely. And you look at Ugandan football or as African football at large, it's always very hard to see a team going for a longer period of time without losing a game. And you look at by the Black Angels, some of the games they have been winning, like the other win they had over the team of Alpha, they struggled a lot, even against Nebi Central. If they were not to be clinical enough, we would have seen them playing a draw with the team of Nebi Central. And Pakwati Youngsters, last season, this is the team that actually finished as the runners up behind the team of Nebi Central, and each and every season they continue to see that they push hard. And the way I'm seeing, it's going to be the first time we are seeing the team of the Black Angel losing some points. If not a defeat, maybe some of the points will get dropped in the draw.
Maybe the Black Angels has a good side, as in players. Pakwachi has also a rejuvenated side with a low motivation. Of course, trying to see that things work well for them. I'm expecting a tough game, by the way. Because tomorrow is going to be, but the only advantage is that the Black Angels will be at home, and that is one advantage for them. The weapon that we'll be having in there, the 12-man player will act a lot into that is the Paida team, and we shall be expecting to see what exactly are some of the changes that will be pushing it there. So those are the big moments I would say the Black Angels has, or the advantages. And then at home they always so riot. They go riot, and when I say riot, it's the players that go aggressive, making sure that they need to play it for their fans. I'm not meaning that them going for maybe the chaos and the rest, but that is one thing. I've loved the way, just like Susan said, that people are getting away from the hooliganism of in the regional league. Maybe this is yet the start. We may see that happen in the second round, but I pray that such things don't happen, because it spoils the name of the league. As the region FA are looking forward to see that these games are strategized and pushed very far. You would see that even the partnership with the media company West Nile Television shows you that they are trying to change things here and there, and bringing much more things to come and push this. So it's one of the biggest things one could talk about, and I believe West Nile Regional League is now to the light, because I want to say it's the only regional league that is being aired live in the entire country. So it shows you the weight of the region, and of course it shows you the weight of the regional league that is carried in there. So I think it's one of the biggest thing, and we expect a tough watermouthing game against Paida and Pakwachi right there, as Koboko will be also taking on Yumbe Heroes Koboko Rising Star has this season also shown that this is the time we need to push it very, very hard in there. But of course, they are not yet so close to what exactly is expected right there. Susie, Koboko is where we shall be on Sunday. But of course, its game as a Koboko Rising Star is one big one. Now, it's Tips Up that is on form and they're still leading the table. What's this time wrong with the Koboko Rising Stars and their game with Yumbe Heroes? What do you say about it?
Koboko Rising Stars playing against Yumbe Heroes at Nyarilo. Koboko will be home and would really be expecting a win from there is a Koboko Rising Stars. Koboko Rising Stars is slowly sinking, by the way. Initially, the story used to be that we would even talk about Koboko Rising Stars out of Koboko and all that. It's not the usual way where a team only gets to be talked about in their own region and all that. No, Koboko Rising Stars during those days of the Coca-Cola games, the Airtel Rising Stars and all that, I think that is even when it got its names over Koboko Rising Stars and all that. Whatever it is that has happened with them in the years that have passed, I really don't know whatever happened, but they are sinking. You literally bear witness with me that Koboko Rising Stars that currently is in regional league is not so tough. It's not okay. It could be organized, yeah, it could be organized, but it's not the Koboko Rising Stars we knew those days where that any team that goes to play against them goes with the fear factor in them. And this time around, Koboko Rising Stars are hosting hosting Yumbe at home. I think Yumbe is also doing well, Yumbe Heroes, but they traveling to Koboko, the 12-man squad. Basically, Koboko Rising Stars should win this game unless otherwise they want to just give it out to there is a Yumbe.
All right, a very, very, very big game, but we're waiting to see how exactly that is it. Koboko is not that on form like those days, just like, and maybe a lot needs to be done, restructuring, and of course making sure that this gets to the angle that is required. But at the same time, you'll be seeing a team of Pakwati Super Eagles welcoming, of course, the team of Arua City at Kopia Primary School grounds tomorrow, and that's one big game. That means Arua City is traveling. The team that has been getting away wins, we're expecting this from them again.
Arua City, just like Paida United, the side they faced this time also handled another side. They will also want to be like Paida United to see that they pick the win against the Pakwati Super Eagles. Pakwati Super Eagles, you take a look at the statistics behind them. They have actually not been performing very well. I am seeing a win for the team of Arua City. Saying something little about the game between Koboko Rising Stars and the Yumbe Heroes. Yumbe Heroes, they have not won any game. They have only played 2 draws out of the 6 games they have played. And you look at Koboko Rising Stars, the other time over the weekend they were actually humiliated 6-1 by a certain Oda Matsaku. This time they're at home. They will want to do everything to see that they win the game against Yumbe Heroes, and a win for Yumbe Heroes will still take them ahead of Koboko Rising Stars, much as they all stay in the relegation zone. But you look at the side that's coming from Koboko, they are having huge negatives compared to Yumbe Heroes. So in summary, Koboko, I am seeing them picking the maximum number of points. Meanwhile, for Arua City, it will be the right time for them to bounce back from the draw they had over the weekend.
Okay, now a tight game that we should be waiting to see, and probably prove to you what exactly will be coming right there. Sunday has a lot of games that we shall also see that will be coming, but of course for that, the day for today, that's where we can first go off right there. Yesterday, the FUFA Big League continued with, of course, Onduparaka Football Club, of course, keeping the record unbeaten, but of course not winning it all in right there. An equalizer by Samson Sizo Kuti, that of course made Onduparaka get their games right there. A full detail against Mbale Heroes, and of course I'll be giving you more over other games right there. So what went wrong this time round for the club Onduparaka, and how good or bad is that for them getting a draw against Mbale Heroes?
Getting a draw against Mbale Heroes, trust me, it's not a very bad result, because one, we all know how tough Mbale Heroes is. Picking a win actually against Mbale Heroes is this is one thing that has only been done by police, if I am not mistaken. Mbale Heroes is one tough team that I can rate currently in the big league, together with the likes of police and yeah, basically I think those. And then Kataka is tough only home, but when they're away, they're not that tough. But Mbale Heroes, you'll see that These players are fighters. They'll want to fight with everything in them to actually see that they pick a win, whether they are the visitors. But then when they are home, there is no doubt that they are always in for the win. The game they played yesterday against Onduparaka, Mbale Heroes came in to win, by the way. If you looked at how they played, I think I said that earlier on in the show here before we proceeded down there for the game. I was like, Onduparaka has been having an unbeaten run at home. This time around, I was actually seeing a defeat, Onduparaka picking the first defeat at home. And it almost happened. If it wasn't for Caesar Samson Okuti that had come in there with that equalizer, you would see that I don't know what happened, but at least the number of days that they came back from Masindi, the game they lost to Boma. I thought maybe at some point it was fatigue, but I ruled out fatigue because they had at least had a rest over about 3-4 days. And then also, I thought maybe Samson Sizo Okuti would partner very well with Andama Junior, but then it also didn't work out. I only saw I saw the impact of Jericho when he came in as a substitute later on. But then the likes of Caesar and Andama Junior somehow they were also too tired, and I think they needed to be substituted. These are people I have never seen go in for 90 minutes and all that. They had weak passes, passes that were not directed. You will see that there was no sense of direction in the pitch and all that. And I keep asking myself, one day, Caesar now has 5 goals for the club, being a coach. One day, what happens when Caesar is either out injured or is not in the club? And what would happen if Samson Sizo Okuti was not there in the club? So all these questions, I think, go unanswered, and they will be answered one day when any of the two happens, although I am not wishing that for the club that is Onduparaka Football Club. But the draw yesterday, to me, it was the best they could do. I didn't see Onduparaka picking a win against the fighters, Mbale Heroes.
All right, very big one. But of course, Benson, if you look at the game yesterday, you would see that there was a challenge of course, the team was a good team. That is Mbale Heroes. Of course, I saw around 5 players from the UPL who, of course, are for club double licensing, which was a very superb thing to Mbale Heroes. And you would see that, yes, this is it. But all in all, Asaf Mwebas, also a former coach at Onduparaka, knows what exactly the club has been, the norms, and of course, what exactly is there, the tradition. Coming this game, he knew what exactly needed to do. And of course, the experience of Samson Caesar still made things go correct for Onduparaka yet again, and putting it right there. Now, 16 points is what Onduparaka has out of the games that they have played. And you have an away game that you're traveling to, that is the neighbors, which is Calvary Football Club in the next fixture. That's one big thing that we should be expecting right there. Come, of course, this coming Thursday. Now, that's one big thing. But all in all, did you value the 1 point collected, or you felt that was not enough?
I've loved the spirited effort these boys put together, though it was not up to the expectation, because recently they have been winning home games, as both of you have said. But you look at the team of Mbale Heroes, I remember very well before the encounter, we all gave our analysis in different ways, and which worked exactly. Me, I said Mbale Heroes, they have a fear factor ahead of the encounter, because they know that Onduparaka, when it comes to home games, they are always very tough. And also Onduparaka, you talk about them, they also had that negative impact that this is Mbale that has been performing very well, and both of them collided together, and it wasn't a surprising thing to see that both sides share spoils. But the good thing is, and what matters most, and what mattered most, was Onduparaka still keeping the home clean, not clean sheet, rather home unbeaten record. That is the thing which of course I loved so most in the game.
So still a very big one, as Calvary traveled to Mbale, and in that Mbale game, you did see them lose their game to, that is Kataka Football Club, by 2-0 right there. What does that mean for Calvary? They are still battling in for the relegation. Number 12 is where they are, and it's a red zone.
Calvary, whatever it is that is happening with Calvary this time around, I don't know. They are inconsistent, but then the consistency of winning and drawing is basically becoming too much. And this time around, losing out to, there is a Chetume. Chetume, if you see, to other teams, they are a very tough side. A very tough side to other teams, but other teams get to beat them for fun. They just sit ahead of Calvary, and I think this change of position came in yesterday after the game. And Calvary stands to play, there is Onduparaka in less than a week. So whatever it is, I really wouldn't want Calvary to come down out of that league. At least they should fight hard to maintain themselves. I really don't understand what is happening at the squad, because they now have the experience, they are home, unlike the first season that they went into this league. They were not playing on the home grounds, they were playing at a green light. I remember that vividly, before the second season, before they shifted back home to Yumbe. So this time around, they are really being affected.
Okay.
Actually, Owen, before you say more, it was actually like a exchange of journey in terms of sub-regions. Two West Nile-based sides facing two teams from Bugisu. Yeah, I think they are from Bugisu, but who collected all the bragging rights? I think it was the both sides coming from Mbale, because Mbale came here, it was a draw. Meanwhile, Calvary went the other side, they were beaten. Speaking something little about Calvary, I think they need to start trying something positive in terms of picking maximum number of points. Much as the last 4 games they have played, they have improved, picking 1 win and a draw. But you look at the rate at which they are dropping down to the red carpet, it's really too much. It's now the 3rd consecutive week we are seeing them staying in the relegation zone. I think Calvary up against Onduparaka, the next match for the two West Nile-based sides, will be so amazing, because history will be made behind this game, because it will be made behind this game in this new season of FUFA Big League.
Chiinda Boys also yesterday disappointed Blacks Power, which makes them drop a bit, and that is where we are seeing 1-0 for Chiinda Boys against Blacks Power at their own home, at Chiinda's home ground yesterday. Now you did also see Young Boys losing into the hands of Boma FC, as Chigezi had held, of course, Police 1-1, and you did see Ginger North beating Team Ndeje University by 2-0. What next for Ndeje? Are you seeing them survive the relegation, Susie?
Ndeje now has also disappointed us. Initially, I thought the league started already. When they started winning in games here and there, but then they failed to keep the consistency of the continuous wins that would actually help them move out of the relegation zone. They have still remained, but then if they put up energy, they can push through, by the way, the relegation zone. One thing I love about the table standings in a Betpower Big League is that you might find the 2 or 3 teams that are seated in front of you, you can actually surpass them with only 1 win. That is 3 points, and you're far much ahead of 3 teams that were literally ahead of you. So oscillation within the Big League table is quite very easy. So I think Ndeje, if they can put up a very spirited fight like how they started, they can by them move away from here, because one, they sit last, yes, with 7 points, but Young Elephants sits ahead of them just with 8 points. And then the team that is ahead of Young Elephants has 11 points. So if Ndeje can collect even one win and 1 draw, trust me, they would have pushed somehow closer out of the relegation zone. They only need to sit down, go back to the drawing board, find out where the mistakes are, try to correct them here and there. We can see them move out of the red zone. It's yet, there is still some little time for Ndeje to come out of that red zone.
Okay. Onduparaka will be playing Calvary in the, that's going to be on 21st, which is going to be a Thursday. After that, Calvary has Ginger North to play away. Then Onduparaka goes to Chiinda Boys. Onduparaka welcomes Chiinda Boys right here. That will be one of the games that will be coming through right through there. But of course, before that, of course, Onduparaka has Police at home. Then Calvary plays after the Calvary game. Yes, Calvary will have Karo Karunji. Those are the 2 games left probably for first round to end, and we will be counting down to see what exactly January tells us in these games. So 21st and 28th are the games that we are going to be seeing right there. Benson, those 2 games, where do you see the 2 Western clubs finishing?
In case they are going to play positive discipline in the pitch, that's when you will see the change in the table standing, more special for Calvary. For Onduparaka, they are safer in terms of the position they are having right now. Matches, their target is to see that they cross the bridge to where they are supposed to be, but right now, to me, the pressure keeps on mounting on the team of Calvary. Meanwhile, the other interesting thing, it may be interesting to the fans who are not following the top teams. Police dropped points against Tigez boys, Tigez homeboys, and on the other side, we also saw the team of Blacks Power being beaten, and that one has given room to the team of Lugazi, and unfortunately they also having a tough encounter up against the team of Karo Karunzi. Once Lugazi wins tonight's game, it will take them to the same number of points with the team of Police, but it will only be the number of positives the 2 clubs are having. But Blacks Power, unless not Blacks Power rather, unless maybe they will win with a huge number of goals, still Police will be maintaining the top of the table. But the question is, the last few games they have been playing, we have seen them dropping points. Anytime, if they are not serious, we may see the likes of Lugazi, Blacks Power, Mbale Heroes surpassing them.